Hello, good morning, dear students. Welcome to state level online lecture. Today we are going to learn about the topic change the voice. Okay, we are going to learn about active voice and passive voice. So first we will see the definition of what is meant by active voice and what is the structure of active voice. So see what is meant by active voice. The definition C, active voice means that a sentence has a subject that acts upon its verbs. What is the first point is active voice means that a sentence has a subject which acts upon its verbs. Subject performs the action and object receives it. Who performs the action? Subject performs the action and object receives it, and actor is important. So this is the definition of active voice, that active voice means that a sentence has a subject that acts upon its verbs. Subject performs the action and object receives it, and actor is important. So let us see, discuss the example. So example is he turned on the gas. Now see which is the subject in this sentence. He is the subject. Now turn is the verb. Turn, the action is done, and the gas is the object. So the sentence is he turned on the gas. So subject plus action word, that is verb, and plus object. So how is the structure of the active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. So he turned on the gas. Second example is Tom painted the entire house. Now in this sentence, which is the subject? Tom is the subject, painted is the verb, that is action word, and house is the object. So again, how is the structure of the active voice? Plus subject plus verb plus object. So this is known as a active voice. One more example we will see that. The example is history is being made by us. What is the example? History is being made by us. So how we will write down that we are making history. We is the subject, making is the verb, and history is the object. One more example we will see. The box was taken by the young man. The box was taken by the young man. So how I will change in the active voice? The young man took the box. Now the young man is the subject, took is the verb, and the box is the object. So what is the structure of active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. In the sentence, for subject comes, then verb comes, that is action word, and then comes object. So this is the active voice. Next example we will we'll see about passive voice. Now what is the definition of passive voice? Passive voice shows interest in person or object and experiences an action. The subject is acted upon by the verbs and action is important. What is the definition of passive voice? Passive voice shows interest in person or object and experiences an action. And the subject is acted upon by the verbs. And who is the important over here? Action is important. Example C, same example we will take. He turned on the gas. Now this is the example of active voice. Structure is subject plus verb plus object. He is the subject, turn is the verb, and the gas is the object. This we have to change into passive voice. So how we will write down? The gas, we will take first object, that is the gas. Then third form of verb, that is was done. Use the by preposition and use the subject, that is him. Okay, so how is the sentence? The gas was turned on by him. So this sentence we have converted into passive voice. And what is the structure of passive voice? Object plus V3. V3 means the third form of verb, plus by preposition, plus S means subject. So what is the structure of a passive voice? O plus V3 plus by plus S. O means object, V3 means third form of verb, plus by preposition, and plus S subject. So this is the example of passive voice, and this is the structure of passive voice. Next, Tom painted the entire house. Again, Tom is the subject, painted is the verb, the house is the object. The subject plus verb plus object. This is the active voice structure, which we have to convert into passive voice. What is the structure of passive voice? Object plus third form of verb plus by preposition plus S subject. So object means what will come first? The entire house. Third form of verb means was painted, by preposition, and subject is Tom. So how the sentence will become? The entire house was painted by Tom. So students, keep in your mind that what is the structure of active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. And what is the structure of passive voice? Object plus V3 plus by plus S. This object plus third form of verb plus by preposition plus subject. S means subject. So this we have seen the active voice, and structure is definition and examples, and passive voice is definition, structure, and examples. Now conversion rule chart is there. See, all of you know the first person pronoun, second person pronoun, third person pronoun. The subject, one column is of their subject, other column is there of object. See, the first person, when there is first person pronoun I will convert into me. We will convert into us. Second person pronoun you will change into you. Third person pronoun he will change into him. She will convert into her. It will remain as it is it. And they will convert into them. So remember here, I will convert into me. We will convert into us. You will remain as it is you. He will change into him. She will convert into her. It will remain again as it is it, and they will convert into them. So this is the conversion rule chart. Next chart is add a proper helping verb or auxiliary verb of to be before the main verb. See, first column is of tense, second column is there of active voice, and third column is there of passive voice. Now see, according to tense, how it will change when it is there in active voice, how it will convert into passive voice, what we have to use. Which helping verbs or which auxiliary verbs we have to use. See, am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, would, should. These are the auxiliary verbs. Shall, will. Now in simple present tense, if the sentence is there in simple present tense and in the active voice there is do or does, while changing into passive voice, we have to add the helping verb as a am, is, are. Either am, either is, or either are. When there is present continuous tense, in active voice there is am, is, are, we have to use am, is, are plus being, B-E-I-N-G. When there is present perfect tense, in active voice there is have, has, we have to use has, have plus been. In simple past tense, when there is did, we have to convert into, we have to use the auxiliary verb was or were. In past continuous tense, where there is was or were, we have to use was, were plus been. In past perfect tense, had been. In simple future tense, will or shall is there, you have to use will, shall plus be. Future perfect tense, will have, we have to use will, will have plus been or shall have plus been. And the auxiliary verbs are the others are can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must. At that time, we have to use the auxiliary verb be. Yes, be. So this we have to add a proper helping verb or auxiliary verb before the main verb. So what are the steps for conversion active voice into passive voice? What are the steps are there? First, when we are changing active voice sentence into passive voice, first we have to identify in the active voice which is the subject, which is the object, and what is the main verb. Okay, first we have to identify in the sentence which is the subject, which is the object, and which is the main verb. Then we have to, when we are changing active voice into passive voice, we have to swap, means SO and OS means where there is subject, we have to put their object, and when there is object, we have to write down their subject. Okay. In active voice, there is first subject and last is object. In passive voice, in the place of subject, we have to take object, and in the place of object, we have to take subject. Okay. Then we have to convert main verb into third form of verb. We have to convert main verb into V3, means third form of verb. Then add proper helping verb of to be. Just now we have seen the to be verbs. And add preposition by before S, means add preposition by before subject. Now see which are the various forms of verb C. V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. V1 means verb, V means verb. Verb V1 means base form, V2 means past form, V3 means past participle, V4 means present participle, and V5 means third person singular. See, test will change into tested, tested, testing, and testes. Play will change into played, played, playing, and plays. Paint will convert into painted, painted, painting, and paints. Walk, 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 walking, and walks. Begin, began, begun, beginning, begins. Become, became, become, becoming, becomes. Go, went, gone, going, goes. These are the various forms of verbs. Now let's discuss each of the sentences, each of the active verbs into passive voice by according to tense, their structure and examples. Now see, the sentence is there in the simple present tense. What is the sentence is there in the simple present tense? That Rohan eats rice. What is the example is there? That Rohan eats rice. The active voice, how is the structure? Rohan is the subject, eat is the verb, and rice is the object. Okay. Now we have to swap, where there is subject, we have to put their object, that is rice, and where there is subject, where there is object, we have to put a subject, that is Rohan. So what will come first? Rice means object plus V3, that is eaten, plus by, and plus S means subject, means O plus V3 plus by plus S. Now this is the structure of passive voice. So how will the sentence will become? Rice is eaten by Rohan. Next, present continuous tense. Example is Seema is making a cake. What is the sentence is there in active voice? Seema is making a cake. Seema is subject, is making is verb, and a cake is object. So I will put first a cake is being made by Seema. So object plus V3 plus by and plus subject. So a cake is being made by Seema. Then in present perfect tense, the girls have plucked the flowers. Uh, So the girls subject have pluck is object, sorry verb, and the flowers is object. So how will sentence is the flowers have been plucked by the girls. So object plus V3 plus by plus S. The flowers have been plucked by the girls. Next see. Next example of simple past tense. Now, how is a simple past tense sentence? Is she sang a song. So while changing into passive voice, how the sentence will become? A song was sung by her. How the sentence will become? A song was sung by her. The sentence in the past continuous tense. He was giving a lecture. I will change into passive voice. A lecture was being given by him. Then I had finished my work. The sentence is there in the active voice. How it will change into passive voice? My work had been finished by me. Okay. So I had finished my work. Subject plus verb plus object. Now passive voice object plus V3 plus by plus S. My work had been finished by me. Next simple future tense. She will distribute chocolate. Again, how we will change into passive voice? Chocolate will be distributed by her. How the sentence is? She will distribute chocolate. Subject plus verb plus object. While changing into passive voice, how it will become? Object plus third form of verb plus by and plus subject. That is, chocolate will be distributed by her. Next one is present perfect future tense. The children will have seen the show. How it changes passive voice? The show will have been seen by the children. Okay. So this example we have seen according to tense, structure, and examples. Okay. We have seen simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, then simple past tense, past continuous tense, and past perfect tense, then simple future tense and future perfect tense. Now we will see changing interrogative sentence into passive voice. When we are changing interrogative sentence into passive voice, what are the rules are there that we are going to see? Let's see, total 5 rules are there. First rule is if any interrogative sentence starts from do, does, did, then use am, is, are, was, were. What is the sentence is there? Our first rule is there that if any interrogative sentence starts from do or does or did, then we have to use either am, is, are, was, or were. So this is the first rule when we are changing interrogative sentence into passive voice. Second rule is if any sentence starts from is, are, am, was, or were, then use being, B-E-I-N-G, being after the subject and am, is, or was, were in starting of the sentence. Okay, what is the second rule is there, that if any sentence starts from am, is, are, was, were, then use being, B-E-I-N-G, being after the subject. Huh? When we have to use being, B-E-I-N-G, after the subject, and am, is, are, was, were in starting of the sentence. Huh? We are going to discuss all these rules according to examples. Third rule is, if any sentence starts from has, have, had. What is the third rule? If any sentence starts from have, has, had, then use been, B-E-E-N, been after the subject and have, has, had put in starting. Okay. What is the third rule? If any sentence starts from have, has, had, then use been, B-E-E-N, been. See, remember when the sentence starts from am, is, are, was, were, then use B-E-I-N-G, being after the subject, and starting what you have to use am, is, are, was, were. And if any sentence starts from have, has, had, then use been, B-E-E-N, been after the subject and put have, has, had in starting of the sentence. Fourth rule is, if any sentence starts from shall, will, can, should, then use be after the subject and shall, will, can, should put in the beginning. If any sentence starts from shall, will, can, should, then use be after the subject and shall, will, can, should put in the beginning. What is the fifth rule? If any sentence starts from why, when, how, then use starting of the sentence and you should replace by whom. So what is the fifth rule? If any sentence starts from why, when, or how, then at the starting of the sentence we have to use by whom. What are the 5 rules are there? When we are changing interrogative sentence into passive voice, the first rule is, if any interrogative sentence starts from do, does, did, then we have to use in the sentence am, is, are, was, were. If any sentence starts from am, is, are, was, were, then use being, B-E-I-N-G, being after the subject and am, is, are, was, were in starting of the sentence. If any sentence starts from have, has, had, then use being after the subject, been after the subject and have, has, had put in the starting. Fourth rule, if any sentence starts from shall, will, can, should, then use be after the subject and shall, will, can, should put in the beginning. If any sentence starts from why, when, how, then use starting of the sentence and who should be replaced by whom. Example C. Now this interrogative sentence starts from does. Does he help you? Active voice. So does he help you is active voice. How we will change into passive voice? I have used are. Are you helped by him? In this way you have to change into passive voice. Next, was she reading a novel? The real sentence starts from was. So what we'll add here? Being, B-E-I-N-G. Was a novel being read by her? And at last we have to put a question mark. Now don't forget to put a question mark because this is an interrogative sentence. Next, had he finished the work? Now when we are changing the passive voice, had the work been, B-E-E-N, been finished by him? Can he do this work? Can this work be done by him? Who was done this work? Now see, here sentence starts from who. So who will replace by whom? What we have to use? What we have to use over here? By whom? by whom by whom has this work been done. Okay, so these are the examples of changing interrogative into passive voice. Now, when we are changing an imperative sentence into passive voice, what are the rules are there? An imperative, when we are changing an imperative sentence into passive voice, what are the rules are there? First rule we will see. An imperative sentence in the passive voice has the following form. Now, what is the first rule is there? Let plus object plus be plus verb past participle. Be means verb, the past participle. Let plus object plus be plus verb past participle. Next rule is when the active voice is in the negative, the passive voice take the form. If the sentence is there in the negative, what is the structure of the passive voice? Let plus object plus not plus be plus verb past participle. The first object, first sentence is throw the ball. Active voice is there, throw the ball. How we will change into passive voice? Throw the ball. This is the imperative sentence. All of you know the imperative sentence. I have given the command. I have given the order. Throw the ball. So how will you change into passive voice? Let the ball be thrown. So the let plus object, that is the ball, plus be plus verb past participle throw will become thrown. So let the ball be thrown. So what is the structure of imperative sentence when we are changing into imperative sentence into passive voice? Let plus object plus not plus be let plus object plus be plus verb past participle. Do not beat the dog. Again, a sentence is there in the active voice. Now this sentence is negative. Do not beat the dog. So how will change in the passive voice? Let the dog not be beaten. Again, let plus object, that is the dog, plus not plus be and plus verb past participle means past participle is beaten. So how the sentence will become? Let the dog not be beaten. This is the second rule. So here we have seen changing an imperative sentence into passive voice. Once again, we will see, then we will discuss the examples. Okay. See, there are two types of voices are there. One is active voice and the second one is passive voice. What definition we have seen about active voice? That active voice means that a sentence has a subject which acts upon its verbs. A subject performs the action, an object receives it, and who is the important? Actor is the important. What is the structure of active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. Means he turn on the gas. Subject plus verb plus object. Second is Tom painted the entire house. These two examples we have seen. Passive voice. Passive voice shows interest in person or object and experiences an action. The subject is acted upon by the verbs and action is important. What is structure of passive voice? Object plus verb 3 plus by plus s. Means he turned on the gas was turned on by him. Tom painted the entire house was painted by Tom. The conversion rule chart, first person pronoun, second person pronoun, third person pronoun. Subject, when there is subject I, it will convert into me. We will convert into us. You will remain as it is you. He will become him. She will become her. It will remain as it is it, and they will change into them. Then add a proper helping and auxiliary verb. According to tense, we have to add proper auxiliary verb. Where there is simple present tense, do, does, use, am, is, are. Present continuous, am is are, use am is are plus being. Present perfect tense, have has, use have has plus been. Simple past, did is there, use was or were. Past continuous, was or were plus being. Past perfect, had been. Simple future, will or shall plus be. Future perfect tense, will, shall, have plus be. And other auxiliary verbs, can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must use the be. Steps are there. First, we have to identify which is the subject plus verb plus main verb. Then, where there is subject, use object. Where there is object, use subject. Convert main verb into third form of verb. Add proper helping verb of to be, and add preposition by before subject. The various forms of verbs we have seen. First one, base form, past participle, present participle, and third person singular. Then according to tense, we have discussed the example. In simple present tense, Rohan eats rice. Rice is eaten by Rohan. In present continuous tense, Sima is making a cake. A cake is being made by Sima. Present perfect tense, the girls have plucked the flowers. The flowers have been plucked by the girls. Simple past tense, she sang a song. A song was sung by her. Past continuous tense, he was giving a lecture. A lecture was being given by him. Past perfect tense, I had finished my work. My work had been finished by me. Simple future tense, she will distribute chocolate. Chocolate will be distributed by her. Future perfect tense, the children will have seen the show. The show will have been seen by the children. The changing interrogative into passive voice, when the sentence starts from do, does, or did, use am, is, are, was, were. If the sentence starts from am, is, are, was, were, then use being after the subject and start am, is, are, was, were in the starting of the sentence. If the sentence starts from have, has, had, then use been after the subject and put have, has, had in the starting. If any subject starts from shall, will, can, should, then use be after the subject and shall, will, can, should put in the beginning. If any sentence starts from why, when, how, then you have to replace by whom. Example we have seen, does he help you? Are you helped by him? Was she reading a novel? Was a novel being read by her? Had he finished the work? Had the work been finished by him? Can he do this work? Can this work be done by him? Who has done this work? By whom has this work been done? When changing imperative into passive voice, what is the structure? Let plus object plus be plus verb past participle. It is throw the ball, let the ball be thrown. When the sentence is in the negative, how will change? Let plus object plus not plus be plus verb past participle. That is, do not beat the dog and let the dog not be beaten. So here we have completed with the topic active voice and passive voice. We will discuss with the examples. Okay. First example we will see. First example C, active voice. I have been saved by Birbal. I have been saved by Birbal. Okay. So how we will change, how the sentence will become here? Birbal has saved me. How the sentence will become? Birbal has saved me. So this is the sentence. I have been saved by Birbal. How will the sentence will become active voice? Birbal has saved me. Next example we will see. Number 2 example we will see. The box was taken by the young man. The box was taken by the young man. Okay. The sentence will become, the young man took the box. How the sentence will become? The young man took the box. The subject plus verb plus object. The box was taken by the young man. The young man took the box. The sentence structure is the subject, that is the young man, plus verb is took, and plus the box is the object. Okay. Next, one more example we will see about active voice. One more example, see. The door was being closed by them. Third example. The door was being closed by them. So how will become into active voice? They were closing the door. They were closing the door. Again, they is the subject, where closing is the verb, and the door is the object. This is the structure of active voice. Now we will see about passive voice. See, for passive voice, call the police. This is the imperative sentence. Call the police. Okay. Imperative sentence. Call the police. Okay. How I will change into the passive voice? Call the police. This is the imperative sentence. That is, let the police be called. Let the police be called. This is the passive voice. Okay. Next example, see, we will see. Who did this? One more example we will see of passive voice. Who did this? Now the sentence starts from the who. So who will replace by what? Here who will replace by whom? By whom was this done? Question mark. Okay. So who will replace by whom? By whom was this done? Okay. Next example, one more example, see. One more last example, we will see a passive voice. A group of children greeted him. So how will change into passive voice? A group of children greeted him. We will change into passive voice like he was greeted by a group of children. He was greeted by a group of children. Okay. So this is the example of passive voice. So students, here we have completed with the topic active voice and passive voice. Okay. We have seen the active voice definition, the passive voice definition. Both the structure, the how to change the interrogative sentence, its rules, while changing imperative sentences and its rules. We have completed here with the topic active voice and passive voice. Okay. So what is structure of active voice? Subject plus verb plus object. Passive voice structure, object plus third form of verb plus by plus subject. The convert a rule chart, then add a proper helping or auxiliary verb. The steps we have seen while changing active into passive voice. And it's the structure and examples. While changing interrogative sentence into passive voice, 5 rules are there that we have seen, and while changing imperative and sentence to passive voice that we have seen. Here we are completed with the topic. Okay, thank you students. Okay, ma'am, shall I leave? Hello.
Yes, Vaijanti ma'am, have you finished?
Hello.